this. Thank you. Okay, good morning. We started a little bit, but we are talking this morning about why are we doing what we're doing? Why are we on this mission? And maybe it's not even a mission to you. Maybe it's you just getting your product, at a better price. But that's the reason why you're doing that. There's no wrong or right reason or that you can share this morning. But I really do feel like we need to let's back up a little bit. Let's slow down to speed up and let's talk a little bit. I wanted to talk about the product first. And if you'd be so good to just share why you love your Juice Plus. One change it has made for you, mentally, physically, whatever. Why do you personally love your Juice Plus? And I always try to think when I'm going to do this, if somebody came in today and said, you know what, Susie, the Juice Plus company is going to be wiped off the face of the earth. Would I just be like, oh, okay, I'll go take 1-a-day vitamins? How would that make me feel to know that my family and I, that will no longer get to take Juice Plus? So what is it that I'm like, ooh, I really love this product. Why do I love this product? So I'll just open the floor. We're just going to have a little icebreaker time. And I remember there's no wrong or right reason. It's your personal experience. So is anybody willing to be first to share, why do you love these Juice Plus products? What is awesome about them to you?
I love it because it was, oh, sorry, Sheila, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I love them because of what it did with my inflammation in my knees. It helped me to reduce the inflammation in my knees and be able to walk and do things that I haven't done for years.
Wow.
I love
I'll
it
go
because,
next.
okay, go ahead.
No, we're all jumping in. Overall, I guess it's probably the best product ever that I feel. I really appreciate what it does for my stomach. The omegas are amazing. I mean, they just have so much for your stomach, your gut. That's my favorite.
Did you talking about mentally knowing that you have all those plant foods feeding your gut, or did you actually feel something different, Debbie?
I do feel something different because my not too long ago I had a flare up with, I thought it was going to be the diverticulitis, issue with your stomach. I had an issue with diverticuli, and I don't know if Jake remembers. I called her. I was like, I need to order the omegas again. I've got this issue going, and if I eat something that is maybe just a little too spicy, even though I still love it, and if it starts to bother my stomach, which it will instantly, I've got to take the omegas. I do instantly, 2 of them. My stomach calms down. So I know that I can rely on that I don't have to go to an antacid. Blech.
Wow. This is fascinating. I've never heard of anybody doing that. So thanks for sharing. And we can't say that will help everybody that would have that same feeling as
Right.
Debbie. But wow, why not tell them, hey, I know a friend that did this, and this really helps her through that instead of antacids. Very cool. I didn't know that.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jake. You wanted to share.
Well, it started out, I loved it because it was a way for me to eat vegetables without having to taste them, because I didn't eat vegetables. And since then, I love it because normally I would have had bronchitis 4 to 8 months out of the year, which would have been preceded by sinus infections and allergies. And then afterwards, a lot of times I would have pneumonia. And I haven't had that. I can't even remember the last time. I just don't get those kinds of things anymore like I used to. I've had bronchitis 3 weeks in 12 years.
Wow.
So go from 4 to 8 months every year to 3 weeks in 12 years. It's just, I didn't know what feeling good felt like.
Life changing.
Hmm.
Amazing. Somebody else have something they love about their Juice Plus? Lori.
I love,
So
go
yeah,
ahead, Ruth.
Okay, I ditto what Jake said because I always had sinus infections and was always sick at Christmas and and over the holidays and very susceptible to pneumonia. And ever since I've taken Juice Plus, I think it's been 14 years now. I think I probably had one sinus infection, so that's what I really love about it. And then I was tossing out vegetables too. I like vegetables, but I just always didn't eat them, before. So that's what I like about it.
Awesome. Who knew that Ruth and Jake had the same story? Thanks for sharing. Lori, what did you want to share?
so coming up on my 19th year, I would have to say that my reason for Juice Plus has morphed a lot over the years. Initially, it was like what Jake said. I wasn't eating that. It was a great way to get it. And the science was really important to me because I had been burned by just taking anything anybody ever had anything to say about any type of a supplement. And I would get bright yellow pee, I'd burp it up, and I still got sick. So there was just something so different about what I saw in Juice Plus 19 years ago. Right away, my arthritis in my hand went away. I was 35 and I already couldn't open a jar. And so I can't even imagine where my health would be had I not started when I did. But now fast forward to the current day, based on all the damage that had been done to my system through years of chronic sinusitis and years of pharmaceutical abuse, meaning or pharmaceutical damage from the antibiotics, my gut was really in bad shape. And what I've learned with the Juice Plus is how the micronutrients are feeding our microbiome. But what that really means is recently I got a stool sample to get a snapshot on where my health is. And the pharmacist who did the GI mapping praised the fact that I've been on Juice Plus for so long because although all my issues were not rectified, the large majority of them had been all those years, just little by little, feeding that microbiome. And now that I know where I'm at, I can do a couple extra things through food to heal. But yeah, it's just a no-brainer. Good days or bad days with food. There it is. It's so simple.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you, Lori. Anybody else?
See, I'd like to jump in, and I really like the omegas, plus being backed up by the trio in the fact that I had rosacea for many years, and I went to dermatologists and they told me that I was going to have laser surgery in order to take care of it. And just by simply adding the omegas and the trio, I don't have any of those problems anymore.
Wow.
And there's a definite difference. When I first met Vicki 10 years or so ago, she had a bright red nose. That's where it was so tender and that's where it was so noticeable. And you don't see it anymore.
Wow. I didn't know I was going to get such a deep story. This is great. But we have to remember everybody comes and starts at a certain level. So there is no thing that you can love too big or too small, but I'm learning a lot about you girls. Thank you. Any other people want to share this morning?
Mine would be body pain. all over, ankles, back, my shoulders, and just having that daily relief to run around with children all day. If Juice Plus was taken away from me, I'd probably curl up in a corner and cry myself to sleep every day. So, yes, thank you for all of the body pain relief.
It's awesome. Thanks, Monica. And I'm just curious, who's on the galaxy this morning? You're muted, by the way, if you're telling us.
That's me.
Oh, Debbie? You called in, but
Yes.
you're on the screen. Okay, I get it. Okay. Lindsay, did you want to share today?
Yeah, good morning. So I think that there's a lot of reasons why I love Juice Plus. And Lori knows I started taking it when I was 23 and then kind of just fell off. So when I had a family, it became important to me to add that into our regimen. And for my son, I love it because although we eat plant-based at our home, it just adds to it, and you can never do too much. So I feel like he chooses vegetables more, you know, like as a snack, he would go and grab broccoli instead of, I don't know, maybe we don't really have unhealthy food for the most part in our house, but over other choices. And then for me as a nurse, I don't skip a day just because my immune health is really important to me. And I know that the plants are feeding that. I mean, there's so much science to back it up, but also like getting my parents on Juice Plus was really important to me. And I just think about the long-term benefits. So although I may not like get this giant boost of energy every day because I take my Juice Plus, I know that long-term, it's doing more for me long-term than I may be feeling right at that moment. So that's really important to me as I age, knowing that my DNA is being protected, as well as the omegas. So I think when I first talked to Lori about the omegas, she had said, oh, it, you know, I know what I noticed first was the mental clarity. And I was taking it for a while, and I actually just the other day missed a day. I happened to work a night shift and I got all screwed up. I missed a day, and the following day I could tell the difference. So that was the first time that I really realized how much how much my body needs this. So yeah, I like the omegas for the mental clarity that I didn't realize I was missing out on, and just overall protecting my DNA and my gut.
So awesome. And I love hearing your perspective from, being a medical professional too. Is very interesting. And what you and Lori are feeling with focus, that's coming out in a study coming up. They are showing that our omegas are making a difference in people's mental focus. I think that's going to be huge when that is released. So and I'd say my story is also similar to yours, Lindsay, that I guess it's that part of wanting to take care of all of those around us. It was really important to me to get my kids on Juice Plus, my parents, my whole family. And here I am 20 years later, and almost my entire extended family, is on. And, there was a period in there where I felt like, my kids became adults, although they were just such advocates, especially my oldest daughter, Grace. I can remember her being in high school, and she's not that much older than her siblings, but she'd say, Mom, the kids haven't taken their Juice Plus yet, talking about her siblings or whatever. But, she went on to be a nurse practitioner, but along the way, she went off of Juice Plus when I stopped paying for it. And, but she came back to Juice Plus, and you guys have seen her on events and presenting. And the same thing as you, Lindsay, that it just makes sense. And she's also wants to protect herself. And I'm looking at the anti-aging thing, not anti-aging for disease, anti-aging for how I feel, my activity level, being able to move more. And even, I mean, we have all the studies on wrinkles and stuff. That's, I'll call it vanity, but that's important to me too. You know, um, I want my body to reflect how I feel inside. So I'm a person that likes to go and be active and do adventures. And I want to be able to not, you know, just like Sheila, you were saying, you're going to have a total knee replacement, and how you'd slowed down and you just weren't even moving because of those crazy knees. And, you know, so it wouldn't matter who you are as a person on the inside, you could be trapped in your body. And I don't want to ever feel trapped in my body. So that's a big thing that I love about my Juice Plus over these years. And you know, it's easy to get in and be in for a year or 2 or 10 or 20. And I think we can just say, well, we forget how we would feel. So please remember these stories on here of people who were constantly on meds for different sinus infections and had so much inflammation and had so many, you know, aches and pains and all these things. You know, listen to all the things that we've, you know, from Vicky's rosacea. You know, is that painful too, Vicky, or did it just turn red and you just didn't like the way? I don't know. Is that painful? You're muted, hon. You're muted.
It's very painful because it is so red and so sore to the touch. And it didn't matter. I had all these different topicals that I'd been given to dermatologists, and it didn't make any difference. And it's inflammation from the inside that's coming out. And so when I started utilizing the omegas and the trio and really took care of the inside, it definitely began to show on the outside.
Wow. Well, I just want you all to remember these stories, because what you have, I mean, we cannot guarantee anybody. Everybody's physiology is going to take this in differently. But if you see somebody with rosacea and now you hear Vicky's story of it's painful and it's not fun to have a bright red part, or, you know, can come out in all different parts of the body, or you have somebody that just has so much knee pain or joint pain, you know, Lori talked about 35 and couldn't open a jar. Yeah, where would she be 20 years later? You know, I just feel like more than ever, I'm just starting a new devotional book, and it's all about 40 days of, you know, what your purpose is, and 40 days of being in prayer. And it talks so much. And I just believe that's God, that's the Holy Spirit talking to us when we're saying, oh, we should go talk to that person. We should go talk to that person. And she talks about when we don't act on those things, somebody else, you know, can go fill that need possibly, or that person, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, don't you want to be that person to offer that person some hope and some help? And I just encourage you. I mean, maybe we're going to just, I tell people all the time, I can't guarantee this is going to change what you're going through. You know, we don't have any science specifically on rosacea. We don't have, you know, we don't have a specific sinusitis information, but we know it's going to reduce inflammation. We know we have skin studies. We know we have all these things going on. So I just share with confidence. I believe we talk about it all the time, but it is the kind and right thing to do. So I just try to tell myself, you know, how dare I hold this information back, knowing that all these people, you know, that it's changed things for people. And you can leave a legacy. Think of people starting with kids. And Lindsay, I love what you're doing with your son. I look at even all the way down through my grandkids. They've had it since the time they were in the womb. And it's a joke in our house, but seriously, no vegetable. We can't leave a fruit or vegetable on the counter at my house because Maya is 2 years old, but she pushes this little tower around and she'll just climb up in it and she'll sit there. And if we just laugh, we'll pick up a red bell pepper and it'll have a whole bunch of bites at it. You know, the other day, my daughter sent me cucumber. She's like, no vegetable is safe here. Or my daughter had grated a whole bunch of carrots for a recipe and she got busy doing something with the baby. And she comes back there and Maya had eaten almost the entire mound of shredded carrots. And I just think, I don't think that's normal, you know, for a 2-year-old. But what an awesome, you know, thing that we can pass down, whether people have kids or, you know, whether they're adults. That just, it makes me feel so good knowing that I made this one decision and I've had this ripple effect with my whole family. It's changing everybody's health. It's so cool. Welcome, Wanda. Good to see you. Kinda. I mean, not kinda good to see you, but I kinda saw you and then you were gone.
I get it. I'm kind of doing one of these today, so I have to make lunch while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna not move around so
That's
much.
fine. You turn your screen off. We were all
Right.
just shared. I'll put you on the spot. We just finished sharing about what do we love about our Juice Plus. Can you tell us one thing that you've really loved about your Juice Plus?
I do not nap 3 to 4 hours a day, or even actually nap, and I sleep better at night. So I was a chronic napper. I had chronic fatigue. So that's my love.
Yay. And I love that story too. I mean, so there you go. Think how many people are just so dragged out. Think of Wanda. What if? And that's what I just tell people. What if this made a difference? Let's just try it for 4 months. What if it changed your life? You know, they have nothing to lose. Well, if you guys would be so good, I'm so fascinated with it. Do you guys like hearing people's? Does it help you think about, oh my gosh, I have people in my life with these kind of things? Let's flip the switch because we're also sharing the business now. We have a business blitz going on and people can come on. Oh my gosh, they can get that $190 in the first 10 days. I think that's so phenomenal. What other company does that where they can sign themselves up and 2 other people on a trio and get $190? That is amazing. And then they're going to have a 15% discount on their product for the rest of their life. That is amazing. And that's if they only stay at Partner Plus. They can go up from there. So tell me something that you love about being part of this company, of this mission, of this opportunity. Where are you with that? What has that done to you as a person? Somebody has to go first. Thank
What
you.
did you say? Repeat the question, please.
What do you love about your Juice Plus business? What has that done for you?
Oh my gosh. Back then, 19 years ago, as a single mom, it gave me 2 incomes.
Mhm.
And the residual income is unlike the couple other network marketing businesses that I had done prior to. And I mean, it does feel really awesome to know that like I'm helping people, especially, you know, what's really amazing is the customers that have been with me the longest, how we have all aged compared to others. I mean, we have all aged so well. And here's my dad sitting at 87 and has been on Juice Plus all these years. And how blessed I was that my mom was on it. I know it helped her health, although she's passed away, it still helped her all those years. So yeah, it's really a multifaceted answer and reasoning, but yeah.
And what did you say? The residual income is unlike any other network marketing company you've done, since you have experience with that. What do you mean by that?
Well, okay, so I sold jewelry and you know, you did too. So you sell 1 pair of earrings, you're not really necessarily getting a residual 4 months later off that same pair of earrings that you sold because it's not a disposable. And then I did like a financial product one. And I mean, you would redo a mortgage or sell somebody life insurance, but that was it. It was like a one and done sale.
Mhm.
So for me, having been involved for 19 years and having some customers that have been with me like 17 and 18 of those years, now we're friends. But I mean, in the beginning, they were customers, and I took care of them. And so the work that I did 18 and 17 years ago is still paying me today. So that's what I meant by that. So good question.
Okay, thanks. Very fascinating, especially since you have that multifaceted background. And if you guys ever talk to Lori, she also has the whole corporate background, so she could share from that perspective as well. But somebody else have
Yes, I
something they want.
can. This is so much better.
My business, the reason I love the business is just as multifaceted probably as my product love for the product. And I only shared a small portion of why I love the product. But when I started 12 years ago, I was looking for a job and I couldn't find one. I wanted a part-time job that I could be home with my kids, because that was really, really important. I just closed I was a professional picture framer and I had a business, but I closed it because my 12-year-old son at the time was saying things that made me fear for his safety. So it was important for me to be able to do something where I could be home when my kids were home. And Juice Plus ended up being it. And I went from just thinking, gosh, we got to get this in our bodies. I don't eat vegetables. My kids don't eat vegetables. We need vegetables. Got to get it in our bodies, to now going through 12 years, making more with this business that really is more like a mission than I could ever make in my little town. There's no way I could make what I make here. I mean, I make more than, and I don't say that to brag. I'm just saying that it even just blows my mind that I make more than some business professionals here that have paid lots of money to go to college, and I make more than they do. And all the while I get to help. Every dollar that I make is attached to somebody's life. That's profound. When you wake up knowing that you get to make a difference in people's lives, you get to do good for yourself and you get to do good for others. That's powerful. That's really, really powerful. And the things that I did before, when I framed pictures, my customers, I loved when they would come in and get their work. You could see the joy on their faces, to see, they'd bring me in like an heirloom or something, and then I would turn it into this amazing masterpiece that they could display, that many of them still display on their walls, 15, 20 years later, and they'll tell me about it. But this is so much better. When you hear stories like Vicki and Debbie, Sheila and Monica, that just because I shared this with them, they have better lives. It's great to have a memento or an heirloom hanging on your wall, or a picture or a painting or whatever. But to know, I mean, that's wonderful. But to know that you've impacted a life so that their life has changed for the better. Wow. That's powerful. And I get paid for it. And I got paid for it all those years. I was sick. I was very, very sick. I went through a health crisis and I couldn't work. I couldn't have held a job. There's no way I could have held a job. I could barely function in life. That was a number of years, but the Juice Plus company never failed to send me a paycheck because of all the work that I had done in the past, all those customers that are still with me, all those partners that are still with me. So we'd have probably filed bankruptcy during those years, and I didn't have to do that.
Awesome. Thanks, Jakey. Anybody else have a Juice Plus business story? Why Juice Plus? Why are you here? Why do you show up for meetings? What do you love about this?
When I first found Juice Plus, it wasn't even actually a business opportunity for me. It was, I guess it was in a roundabout way. I wanted something to offer my clients for their health. I wasn't even thinking making money on it. I'm still not making tons of money on it, but I'm making more than I did before Juice Plus. And yeah, being able to change people's lives. I always like to, probably everybody does, is a few weeks before their next shipments ready to be shipped. I always let them know, I'm like, so your shipment's getting ready. Are you ready for your next one? Have you been taking them regularly? And they're like, oh my God, Wanda, if you haven't talked to me about Juice Plus, my digestive system wouldn't be better. I'm so much more energized. Yes, have that shipped out to me. Make sure that's coming. Do not stop it. And that just confirms that I'm doing the right thing, and for my own personal health as well. I thought I was healthy before, but they're take it up another notch. Why not? And get paid for it. So yeah, I've changed so many lives that I have touched. I got a whole lot more to work on. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Thanks to you guys. And yes, this for the business part of it, the help you get, the encouragement you get, the having a Susie and a Jake in your back pocket is huge for me. I think for me, like for my confidence in just me, not just for my other business, but for my Juice Plus, that makes me, you guys are making it work for me. So thank you. And thanks to Juice Plus.
Well, thanks for sharing, Wanda. That was exciting. Hello, Dawn Marie. We're just sharing what do we love about being part of this company? What do we love about our Juice Plus business? And the reason I'm having people share these is because we're getting ready. I want you to have such confidence, and I'm going to show you a resource in just a minute that you can even elaborate. I want you to have such confidence in what you're doing and remember these stories that are here today of, we already talked about what the product has done for us. And now we're talking about what is the business done for us. And there are other people out there that need this. They need this. They need this group. They need this product. So somebody else want to share about what is this business? Sheila, what has the business done for you?
So, I mean, there's all kinds of different things, but one of the things that it did for me is I was able to rekindle relationships that I haven't had for years and years and years and years. Jake and I, we knew each other way back in, high school, or when not quite high school, a little bit after high school. But then really didn't talk for years. Now we get to talk on a at least weekly basis, sometimes daily, just depending on how things go. And I know Julie's not here today, but Julie was another classmate. We hadn't hardly talked at all. And now we get to rekindle that and be partners along with, being friends. And then I had another classmate that also joined me. And so it's just really cool reconnecting with, people from the past, but along with that, all of you guys, and being able to have all the new friends. The community has been amazing.
Cool perspective. Thanks so much. So I would just say, think about Sheila. Are there people all the way back from high school? That took some, you got to be brave to reach out and rekindle that, but they might want to be part of this. And then you get to be really good friends again. I never thought about that, Sheila, rekindling a relationships. That's very cool. Somebody else have something. What did your Juice Plus business do for you, or even what you hope it to do for you?
I'm just going to kind of jump back off of Sheila's, and it's just this whole community. When I first went to my first conference and it said one team, one mission, that's an understatement. People have no idea what that's like until you really get into this community, and you always have somebody that has your back. I mean, if you have a question, if somebody isn't there, there's, upline, sideline, other teammates that are always there to be able to help you out. And such a supportive group of individuals, and just the whole positive community is what keeps me coming, and every Monday possible, and just every time that we get the chance to come together, whether it's conference or whether it's boot camps, anything. I just love the positive community.
Awesome. Thanks, Vicki. Anybody else want to share?
If no one else is going to share, I'll share a little bit more. Another thing that I love, the community is huge. I mean, I think last year would have been emotionally tragic for many of us had we not had, each other every week on these calls, as well as, Voxers and other Zooms. But another thing that I love is the personal growth that I've experienced over the last 12 years. I am not the same person that I was 12 years ago at all. Not the same person I was a year ago. And you can't really build a business and stay the same. You have to grow. You have to become a better version of yourself. And this community helps you to do that, just even by sharing your story, becoming brave enough to share your story or speaking to somebody, that helps you to grow. And you get uncomfortable, but that's where the magic happens, is where the uncomfort lives. Where the uncomfort is, or the discomfort, is where the magic lives. So that has been ginormous. And much of the growth that we get is free. You don't have to pay a dime for it. But if you want to grow even more, there's opportunities, and the company underwrites so many of those things for us. I went through Brave Leaders. I was the initial class of Brave Leaders, and the Juice Plus company underwrote the majority of that program, and that was huge for me. My husband noticed major changes in me when I went through that, and I was able to then identify emotions that I was experiencing that I never really understood before. And then I was able to work through those emotions. Instead of just getting upset, I was able to talk through things. I remember one time he wanted to fight with me, and I says, I'm not going to fight with you. Let's work through this. And that was like a major aha for him, that I was different, because I wasn't willing to fight. I wanted to talk through it. And I would fight before because I would get upset. I didn't know how to express myself. So I express myself so much better. And now we've got, the Ditch the Pitch that the company is underwriting. So there's just so many opportunities. And that's just within our company. That's not other things like GoPro and TeamZ. And there's other opportunities that we get exposed to through this amazing company, that if you wanted to invest in yourself, you certainly could. But you don't even have to pay for it. Just get involved, and there's plenty of free training.
Absolutely. Anybody else want to go?
I'll go. For me, it's been a big journey. And you talk about rekindling, Susie. I think mine and Jake's probably is the longest relationship here. She's even connected to the girls. That has changed my life in a big way. For Jake to call me out of the blue after 20 years or more and find me and introduce it to me, which I actually had picked up a DVD or a CD of the vegetables, the one that has all the vegetables. It's a very old CD from what I remember Jake talking about. But I never really looked at it. I didn't take the time. So I kind of knew the name when she mentioned it to me. And then she went on to tell me how her health had changed. And it intrigued me right away because, like Sheila, Ruth, quite a few of us, I don't eat vegetables either, or I didn't back then 4 years ago. Now I have experienced squash, zucchini, quinoa. I've tried so many other things that I do feel it, and I do see it in my complexion, the way I feel. I wake up earlier. I feel better. This to me, we all talk about, we've all mentioned it as a mission. It is a mission, but it kind of, I wanted to pose a question to you, Susie, especially with our blitz going on. I haven't been as extremely active as I wanted to be with this, but isn't there a catchphrase along with the mission to kind of catch the attention as well as a career? Because I do see it as a career. This is lifelong changing for people. And without it, with making those connections from your past and your friends and your family, this brought, I think this helped bring Monica and I a lot closer. I'm sorry. But knowing that she was going to be in such a difficult time last year, that she needed it and she needed me to be there for her. And I needed her because it was a really difficult time. And that baby just, she's my light. So that's what it's done for me.
Thank you so much for sharing. I love hearing everybody's. I had no idea what you don't know what you're going to get when you just have an open forum and to hear, but we are changing lives. We look at how many people's lives are already changed here and what we're going to do. And I know you guys know my story, and I think so often, what would I do if I was still a school teacher? And what this business brought me was not only, I really believe, so many more years with my husband, but it brought me the flexibility that I could be home, that I could go to all of his appointments, that I could count on that paycheck, because it didn't just magically appear. I worked my butt off for that paycheck. I still work hard.
Susie, for the people who are going to be listening to the recording who've never heard your story, would you share a little bit about that?
Well,
we have a lot of new people on our team that may not know your story.
Okay, thanks. I was introduced to Juice Plus 20 years ago, and I thought it was ridiculous. I didn't think you could put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. So I was like, no, I'm not interested. And but the woman was so passionate. So remember this, the woman, Cheryl Boudreau, my sponsor, was so passionate. She just wanted me to at least have some information. So finally I thought, okay, whatever, just to get her off the phone. And I thought she was a stranger to me. And so I really thought in the back of my mind, she's not even going to follow up. She doesn't even live in the same state as me. I'll just tell her I'll look at her information. But her husband, unbeknownst to her, accidentally sent these cassette tapes, to me express mail. And that was like, oh, they're serious. There's express mail. She's going to get with me. And she did the follow-up, because I will tell you, I listened to those. I was so intrigued. I went to bed listening to it. I took my son's little Sony player to bed with me. I remember Ron looking at me like, you have got to be kidding me. I said, this is fascinating. But because life was so busy and I had 3 young kids at that time, if she wouldn't have called me back, it would have just been fascinating. I never would have stepped forward, but she did call me back. She did ask me if I wanted to get started. And so here we all are today, because Cheryl Boudreau did her follow-up and was passionate enough, instead of just having me say, oh, I don't believe you can put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. She just kept talking about what fruits and veggies did to you. And she intrigued me enough to listen to more. So do think about that. And so through all of this, we became very healthy. But we went off of all our allergy meds. All 5 of my family members were on allergy meds. Our immune systems just got so much better. We always had a cold or flu once a year. That went away. And my husband never called in sick for 7 years to his work after taking Juice Plus. And when he did finally call in sick, we found out he had cancer. And it's never what you want to hear. It's not what we expected to hear. And just to condense that, he had very aggressive cancer. He had several cancers. And we could see so much, like they thought that this would just take him down right away. And they'd given him, when he reached stage 4 cancer, no, when they reached stage 3 cancer, they gave him an 11% chance to live even 5 years. And so he lived 8.5 years, even beyond that time, but it was so aggressive, and he had such a great quality of life through it all. If you guys know, Ron was traveling, and yeah, he had a lot of pain. He had a lot of things. He never complained. He dealt with a lot, and it just gave us access to so many health professionals, just like somebody else was saying, your sidelines, everybody's there to support you. So I'm so grateful for that. And when he was so uncomfortable and it was really difficult for him to sit, or he needed naps or things like that, about 4 years before he died, he was able to retire, which was really difficult. That's a lot of a man, especially that's their identity. We were giving up a 6-figure income to have him do that. But because I'd worked up to national marketing director, I had a full benefits package, and I could handle all the bills, and we didn't lose insurance. I had the insurance. So this company has given me so many more choices. It gave Ron choices. It gave us so much more time together with our family. It gives me the opportunity like this, my 87-year-old dad, he needs help. He's downsizing from his house here in Anchorage, Alaska. And I could, on a whim, just say, yeah, I'm going to show up. And yeah, I still check in, and I'm doing my messages and doing my customer care, and I'm coming to meetings, and, because I can work from anywhere. So I might not be pursuing as much activity this week, but it's not a business where you have to work yourself to death every day, 365, a day. So I like that I have options, that I am excited to go home and do a big push and do this challenge with all of you. But I'm also excited to know my dad's needs are taken care of, and that I got to be here. I got to be the one, to help him and see his face, just how proud he is of his kids coming together. So this company has just done, so much for me, growing me. I just feel like there's always more opportunity for me to grow and become a better me, but that I can still be okay with where I'm at. I don't feel pressured, but I feel challenged. And I like that feeling, that I don't have to feel the pressure of, you have to have this many customers every month, or you're going to lose your business, or it's going to roll up to somebody else. Or I've just heard so many horror stories that I'm so grateful. So anyway, I love it. And I love that I got to meet all of you. And I'm just going to show you something really quickly. If you want to continue on, I really encourage you, especially in the next couple of days before we release this challenge. Let me share my screen. You can go to campbellteam.net. Do you guys see this screen? So if you go to campbellteam.net, right on their front page, they're going to put all their most popular videos that just help you build belief in the product. I mean, Wendy Campbell is a registered nurse, and she will really talk to you about why is she eating Juice Plus? And she gives a lot of science behind all the reasons to eat Juice Plus. And if you continue on down here, there is, there's personal growth kind of things. I love this 5 beliefs. This says 5 beliefs, the foundation for your success. Doubt will chain you to an imaginary stake. Unlock the chains and break free. And I love that she has an elephant. You know how you've seen an elephant is so powerful, but if it's always been chained, it doubts, it doesn't think that it can move. So this might be a good one that you want to check out too. And I love Amy Getz. She always says, I want to inspire people. I want someone to look at me and say, because of you, I didn't give up. And I just love that. And they have a lot more videos. But also if there's, I know Wanda had a California customer. And Wanda, if you look on here, they have all these articles. I think it was under articles. Maybe it wasn't. Anyway, if you click around on here, you will see, because I gave Wanda a little bit of a thing about here it is, the California Prop 65. So if you click on that, this is just, Lindsay, maybe you know more about this, but some people came out because California has this prop that everything has to be labeled. So it puts like a warning label on the website for California customers, and this pops up. But instead of my little short, 30-second response to Wanda, I thought, geez, I could have sent her here. So just know you can get into here. There's a wealth of resources. You can go to the call series. You can go to the video library. You can go to places, or you can just start on this front page. Don't overwhelm yourself. And this isn't doing business. I will say, be careful. If you only have time, your time needs to be on income producing activities. That means reaching out to people, sharing with people, following up with your customers. But if you need to build yourself up, if you wake up and you're kind of in a funk, or you're wanting to get ready and you're feeling nervous, go in and listen to some of these different recordings on the business or the product. You can always build yourself up. Because we all ebb and flow with how excited we are and how passionate we are. And we've gone through a dry spell. We've had a good year and a half where we haven't been coming to conferences. We haven't been together with other people. It's difficult to pick ourselves up and do that every day. But I recommend that. And then I just want to, and I'm going to let you go in 2 minutes, but we, as a team, you can totally go to conference in St. Louis if you want, but I just wanted everybody to be reminded, and I'll keep putting this out, that I rented this huge home, and it's a little bit north of Kansas City. So if you're flying in, you'd fly into Kansas City. And it just seemed like a safer, more cozy atmosphere. We're going to live stream the conference into there. I think there are 23 individual beds. Everybody can have their own bed. We'll have a lot of times to do fun things as well. We'll have time to have focus groups. We'll have time to talk about the conference. You'll have the energy of all those people will fill the house. So be thinking about that. And it should be for the whole time. If you wanted to be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, did I do the fourth night? I'll have to look. Anyway, for that, for your conference, everything, I'm thinking it's going to be less than $300. So it would be just your travel to get there, and then any excursions you want to do, because we would have 2 evenings or an evening afternoon. So we're out in the country. There's a really fun fall farm out there if people want to go through and do all the fall festivities. If you like the nightlife, you can go into Kansas City. It's only about 35-minute drive either way. So I feel like we're in a really good location. We can really deepen and build those relationships. Plus you'll get to be in small groups, and that's where you can still eat out some, but we'll be able to make our smoothies. It'll just be so convenient and fun. So I'm excited about that. But their conference is happening live in St. Louis. So I don't want to tell anybody you can't do that. That is cool. I just think it's going to be a lot smaller as we come out of all the COVID stuff. And so this is something that we decided to do for our team, so that we could all be together and have that high energy, enjoy the conference, and just feel kind of safer as we sprout our wings. Sound good? So, and I'm being asked, when will you start taking reservations for the house? Soon, because I should have thought of that. Thank you, Dawn Marie. Yeah, I'll have to do that so people start making a commitment of who wants those beds, and then we can open it up. Even once I fill those 23 beds, then people will just have to get other accommodations. If you're not, you know what I mean? So I would say, if you're going to do it, hop on it. And if you need help with travel or anything, I can help you with that. Kansas City is the best, slickest airport to come in. You don't even have a big airport. It's the most unique thing. It's like you come in, you're right at your gate and you walk right out the door. There's no huge terminal. It's very unique. They have 3 and I can't even describe it. I've never seen an airport like it. So I thought it was the perfect airport to fly in and out of as well. So stay tuned for more on that, but jot that down, campbellteam.net. There are always a lot of things in there, or you can go to Healthy Living Revolution or the Freedom Revolution. There's so many places to get resources and build yourself up. And, or if you're ever just having a struggle day, put it out there on a Voxer. Guys, I want to do my customer care and I'm struggling. Let some people give you some inspiration, say, tell me a story, tell me what you do when you do this. We have so many amazing people on the team. They will lift you up. They will help you with that. So, okay. And stay tuned. I'm going to go on. Oh, let me think. Wednesday's a fly day for me. Oh, no, I can do it. I'm going to put out this challenge on Wednesday. You start wrapping your head around it, and then the actual 10 days will start on Thursday, and then it'll be 10 days after that at a team meeting. We'll do the same thing as last time, where I'm going to put out, challenge day 1. And if you do the challenge, you're going to check done on that. And then I think we'll do the same thing. People seem to like that. If you do at least one day of the challenge, you can be entered in the $50 drawing. And what did I give?
$375.
Okay.
And then a 50.
Okay, I'll do that again. So then if you do at least 8 to 10 days of the challenge, you'll be put in the drawing to get $75, and I'll either Venmo it to you or send you Amazon gift card, your choice. So are you excited? I think everybody should get up and do a dance, except I'm in my jammies. Ooh, here I am doing business in my bed. I really thought I'd like this, but I don't think it's very comfortable sitting up in a bed. I need a regular chair. So, okay, well, I'm ready to go make it a great day. I hope you all too. Anybody have any final words before we leave you? Wanda,
Safe trip home, Susie.
Yes, safe trip home, Susie.
Thank you.
I was going through the Freedom Revolution website. I know you gave us a chart already on posting ideas, but I found this.
Yes, they have a whole 30 days. Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. There's so many resources. It's take action, massive action. That's my thing.
And if just time block your time, but this is your work time. I don't care if it's a 15-minute or a 30-minute. Maybe go through those resources and find the one, or listen to a video and think, I'm going to jot down names of who comes to mind.
Right.
We just have to do it every day. If we do it a little bit and then we don't, and a little bit and we don't, your business really won't grow. I'll just be honest with you. I mean, you need the consistency. So, all right. I think we're all ladies today. You lovely ladies, have a great day. Go out and do good work, and we'll see you on Monday. But I'll go live in the group on Wednesday with the challenge. So make sure that you tell all your teammates that. Okay. So see ya.